This steel recycling plant in Solothurn processes 700,000 tons of steel a year. The factory consumes as much electricity as a town of 80,000 inhabitants. For CEO Daniel Ebli, quitting nuclear energy creates a problem. He fears electricity will become more expensive and, when imported from abroad, more damaging to the environment.
I'm sure we will also use some solar energy, depending on how much is available. But in general, we have to go for the cheapest electricity in order to compete.
At the end of November, the Swiss will vote on whether to abandon nuclear power by 2029. Opponents fear that replacing nuclear energy will result in increased imports from foreign, coal-fired power plants. Centre-right politician Bernhard Luginbühl claims there's not enough renewable energy available today to make up for the gap.
The alternatives today are importing nuclear energy from France, which would simply transfer the problem abroad, or buying energy from Germany, mainly produced with coal. We could also get electricity from gas power plants, but that would worsen our CO2 balance.
For Luginbühl and many others, abandoning nuclear energy requires more time. But does a quick exit really have to result in an increase of non-renewable sources? Rolf Wustenhagen researches future energy at the University of St. Gallen. He says the arguments of the opponents are too simple, since Switzerland already imports electricity.
Depending on the time of year and time of day, when less is produced domestically, we import nuclear power from France or solar power from Bavaria in Germany. From an economic perspective, we're free to choose what kind of electricity we want. We can choose to buy cheap but dirty electricity from the stock market, or to buy clean electricity from new energy projects.
Swiss energy companies export and import electricity constantly, both nuclear as well as hydroelectricity. In 2015, Switzerland had a total energy production surplus of 1,035 gigawatts per hour. That's almost 2% of annual production. This is one of the reasons why parliamentarian Jörg Grossen is convinced that Switzerland can afford to give up nuclear energy now.
Today we have an overall surplus. There's already too much electricity in the grid. Swiss energy companies are already importing more electricity from foreign renewable sources than the Swiss nuclear power plants of Beznau I and II and Mühleberg produce together. If you look at the total balance, we already have replaced those. It must not only work in theory. We know that Germany doesn't have the means yet to transport electricity produced by wind turbines in the north to the south of the country. So how could it get to Switzerland then?
However, irrespective of what electricity you pay for, what comes out of your socket is a mix. So why bother?
The source of the electricity bought by households and companies makes a difference. If they buy renewable energy, it will lead to more investments in new capacity, and nuclear power plants can be replaced by renewable energy.